Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Kenn Dixon here in the kitchen. First of all, I want to thank my good friend Maurice Theriault for inspiring me to do a little video on making a little gumbo. I'm from New Orleans, and we enjoy gumbo. But me being a vegetarian, I always wanted to figure out a way of doing it so that I can enjoy it as well. So my mom actually gave me this recipe, and I want to thank my mom for that. And so I'm going to share it with you. It's very simple. And the good thing about it is you don't really have to measure because in New Orleans, we just kind of throw everything in a pot. All right. So here we go. The first thing I wanted to do is you got to have all your ingredients. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to get all the vegetarian meats. So what we've got our Morningstar crumbles. We've got some a new thing, Italian sausage by Tofurky. It's pretty good. We also have our Morningstar bacon strips. Okay, this is going to add a little texture to it, a little flavor to it. We also have some chicken tenders. Now this is new. I have not tried it with the chicken tenders yet. Normally I use a meal starter chicken strips, but for some reason I think they stopped making them. And also you want to make sure that you have your veggies. Now you can take the time to cut up your okra, get your corn, get your red peppers and all of that. You can do that. But Kroger's actually has a vegetable gumbo mix, which is really good because everything is already in there. And all you have to do is just basically, pour it in your pot and get going. And it has the okra, the corn, the onions, the celery, and the red peppers. All right. Last but not least, we have soy rizzo. This adds a unique flavor to it. It adds some spiciness to it, but it is really good. They sell this at Walmart in the vegetarian cheese section, in the fruit section. All right, so here we go. So what your first thing you want to do is you've got to get yourself a pot. Now, I'm going to use my smaller pot because my wife says that I make too much gumbo and we end up having it for months to come. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a smaller pot this time, but normally I use my big gumbo pot. And what you want to do is you want to get some water, and you want to fill this thing. Typically, you could do about 5 to 8 cups of water. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some cups of water, 5 to 8 cups of water, and I've got a 4.5 cup thing here, and you just want to put it in there. You just fill it up there, and I'm going to do a 4.5 cup for right now. All right, so we've got our water there. You want to take your veggies. Now I've got my veggies here, and I've just taken them out of the package, and you want to put them in your pot. But you want to add a little olive oil in your pot. I like olive oil because it's a lot healthier than others. You add that to the bottom of it. And once you have it in there, you're going to take and you're going to put this on the stove. And once you get it on the stove, you put your veggies inside there and you start letting it start to cook. All right? So we'll come right back and I'll show you once the veggies start cooking. All right, here we are. Now we're at the stove, and we've got our oil a little bit hot. And so now we just take our veggies, and we just add them to our pot here. It already starts to do its thing. You can zoom in and see what it's doing there. Now, what I like to do is you want to make sure you have your seasonings right, because you don't want to have wrong seasonings, because if you have wrong seasoning, then everything is going to be messed up. So what you want to do is take that veggies and let them go ahead and start. I have it on medium high right now, and just let those veggies go ahead and cook up in there. All right. And what I like to use is the Tony Sachets, once again, New Orleans. Tony Sachets Creole seasoning. You don't take it, and you always want to keep adding it, what to taste. I like things a little bit more spicy, so I kind of season my veggies, put them over a little there, and I just kind of keep stirring them around. Some people may not necessarily like the okra because it's a little bit slimy a little bit, but it's okay, because it all kind of, once you get the thing going, it all kind of cooks in together. So the veggies are going there. Got them. Now, there's another thing that you want to do is you want to add to this is you want to add what is zatarans, and this is shrimp and crab boil. Now, there is no shrimp or crab oil in it, no crab in it. What it is a blend of seasonings that just adds it. Now you got to be careful with this. Don't get too excited. Just add a little bit at first because this adds that kick to it. That's the secret. That's the secret. So you do that with your veggies. You kind of move them around in there, let them soak, and then you can kind of turn it down a little bit, let them cook a little bit. And once again, if you think you need more veggies, you can go ahead and add them really at any time. All right. So when we come back, we're going to go and actually we're going to look at how we chop up our veggies and add them to it. All right. So we're back, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut up our Morningstar bacon strips, and it's nothing real fancy about it. Just slice them up. Just cut them up in nice little squares like this. Little lines in it, and you can add as much as you like to it. I'm also going to go ahead and add my sausage, and I just kind of cut the sausage in half. In slices, and get that going. And this stuff is really, really good. It's got a nice little spice to it, so it kind of kicks into the gumbo itself as well. Cut that up. Okay. And once you got that all cut up, you'll add some more. Then you get your chorizo. You have that. You also want to cut this up, and you just want to slice it down the middle and just kind of drop it in the gumbo mix. And when we come back, we're going to see how it all looks all together when we add our crumbles. We're going to also add our chicken tender strips. We're going to add our water, but we're also going to do something else. We're going to add Zatarain's gumbo base, and this kind of gives you some more seasonings in it, and it kind of gives that base that you need for your gumbo to really start to take a shape and a color and things like that. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. So now we're ready. We've cut up our meats. We've got our crumbles ready. We've got our chorizo pulled out of its package, its initial package, and then we're going to take it out of its plastic wrap that it has in there. We've got our bacon chopped up. We've got our Italian sausage, tofurkey Italian sausage, and we're ready to do a couple things. So we want to take them. We want to go ahead and add our water. So we'll add our water to our pot, and we've added about 8 to 12 cups of water in our pot, and now we're ready to initially start with adding our meat. So we're going to go ahead and just bring our tray over here, and it looks so good. So our first one we want to add is going to be our chorizo, and if you look at it, you see that it is in a plastic container, plastic little wrapping around it. And so what I like to do is just cut it in half and just squeeze it on in there after cutting it down just along the side here. And the good thing about the chorizo, you can actually freeze it, and it could stay for a very long time. And so what I do is I kind of get some when I go to Walmart, kind of save it until I'm ready to make some gumbo, and then I just put it in there. All right. So we've got one in there. We're going to go ahead and do two. And like I said, when it comes to measuring, it's really to the taste. I've done this so many times that I kind of know that 2 chorizos is really good for it. And I know you're probably saying, "Oh, it looks nasty," but it is amazingly good. Trust me. When it's all said and done, you're like, wow, that adds a wonderful taste to it. So we just go ahead and just add our last chorizo to it. Okay, good. There you go. Then we go ahead and we chop up the rest of this bacon slices here. All right, and we just want to take this and we just drop it in there. Okay, and this is a vegetarian dish, and Maurice Theriault does vegan dishes, and they are very, very good. So you need to check him out as well for some of his vegan dishes if you haven't seen them and tried them out. They are delicious. All right, so we go ahead and add that. Then we go ahead and we've got our sausage. Let's go ahead and, oops, the dog will probably grab that one. Okay, we go ahead and push our sausage in there. Oh, we're making a mess here. This is why my wife is not like me in the kitchen. I make a mess, but it's okay. It's gumbo. So we go ahead and add that to it. There we go. All right. So we've got that. And we just kind of stir it around here, get it all mixed in there. And once again, you still got to check your flavor. Check your flavors. Add a little bit of that. Tony sachets, a little bit of crab boil. Okay. And got that on a medium burn. You want to keep stirring it because it will burn the bottom. So you got to be careful in that. So just cook it in. It's starting to get its color and its shape. So we've got some crumbles we want to add. All right. So we go ahead and add our crumbles. Another meat substance. This would be beef if you were eating real gumbo with meat in it. Just add that to it. Here it is. Here it is, starting to take shape. It's looking really good. Okay. Then we've got our new flavor, new item we want to do, and that's our chicken tenders. Okay, we just pour those in there. That just adds another little taste to it, because in New Orleans, gumbo is just a hodgepodge of all sorts of different meats. Okay, so we add that to it. All right. Now, we go ahead and we add our gumbo base from Zatarain's. Okay. Comes in a packet. You just open up the packet, pour it in. Okay. Looks like flour, but it is an amazing blend of herbs and spices that will send your taste buds in overdrive. There we go. Okay. You got that. Now we just simply mix it around in here. Now you're probably wondering, okay, now that you got this, what do you eat it with? Well, we typically eat gumbo over rice, white rice or brown rice, whichever is your choice. You just kind of set it up the way you like, whichever one you want, and you just kind of cook it over there. And now this will probably take, I like to leave mine cooking on a low burn for about an hour, just to get those spices in there and get it tasting really, really good. Once again, continue to add your seasonings to it. A little bit more crab boil since you added a little bit more ingredients. All right, and then once you're done, it's just a matter of covering it and letting it sit. I want to thank you for watching how to make vegetarian gumbo. Once again, check out Maurice Theriault on his vegan dishes that he makes. And also, we'll probably do this again. We'll make another dish, a vegetarian dish for you. Thank you.